No one should ever desire getting married and then rushing out of it. Okay. I mean, we all don't hope for that kind of thing, but sometimes certain things in marriages are bearable. Some, they are probably unbearable, and then you've got to run out of the marriage relationship. Today we're going to talk about some men, some African men that as a lady, you should avoid getting married to. Most of the time, ladies are the one who get surprised when they get married to men, because there are some behaviors that they think the men are going to change once they get married. But we've talked about this over and over again. There are some things that a man will never change. It will rather get worse when they get married. So when you see these types of African men, run away, don't get married to those people. Or even if you want to get married to them, then you should be prepared enough for all these things that I'm going to mention. So stay with me. I'll be right back.
Keep watching and listening to Love Dr. OB for your relationship advice, life goals, and financial tips.
Alright, welcome back, guys. My name is Brother Obi. Call me Love Dr. Obi on all social media handles. Find me over there. Let's get interacted on relationship matters, on life goals and financial tips. If you are new on my channel, please don't hesitate to hit on the subscribe button down there. Also, hit on the notification bell for me. It's an indication that whenever I post any video that I bring to you every week, you would be the first person to get it before anyone else does it. And I appreciate you so much for passing by today. Also, click on the like button and also leave a comment on whatever you think about what I'm going to say. Now, I know most African men will come and beat me over here, but what I'm saying here are facts only. What I'm saying is that you should never marry such men. But if you really still want to go ahead to marry them in the name of I love them, then you should be prepared for certain things. That is what I'm saying. Okay. And the first men I'm going to talk about are men who think that they're also entitled to whatever women are entitled to. The African man, the typical African man, the traditional African man was not built that way. Due to the infiltration of so many cultures, for the European culture, the Western culture, and whatever, what we see on social media, on TV, different cultures, other things, sometimes we think that we are also entitled to certain things that we do for women. Okay, so because women are fighting for feminism and women empowerment and all those things, most men are also irritated and think that, okay, if you are fighting for this kind of thing, and then I also deserve to have those kind of things. So when you meet an African man who've emphasized so much on that, you've got to run away. That's not what he was built, because he adapted those things because of certain pressures, because he wasn't happy with what some women are doing, and they also want to see a way to retaliate with that. So, okay, if you think this is it, then I'm also supposed to get it. If you think I should buy you this, then you are also supposed to buy me that. If you think you deserve this as a woman, then I also deserve this as a man. When you meet such man, an African man, run away, don't marry them. Or if you want to marry them, that is your cup of tea. The second group of men, African men, that you should never consider getting married to are those who think that men and women are equal when it comes to marriage. Okay, you see, women are given certain preferential treatment for that one. And so the typical African man was trained to understand that women are our babies. Women were created from our ribs, and so you got to protect her, you got to do those kind of things. But it all boils down to we having experienced so many cultures that are infiltrated into our system or our culture. That's where we end up getting certain ideologies to think like that. So a man will think that if you do this kind of thing to me, it hurts. So I also have to do that same thing to you. So think about things that you do to me kind of thing. Hey, men and women are not equal. We can never be equal in any sense. We can never. So people fighting for equality, whatever thing, it can never be the same, because in certain situations we even have double standards where you can never use that same measurement to measure certain people's behavior and what we do for them or how we see them. And so when you meet an African man and then he think that hey, we are equal, if you hate me, I will hate you. If you do this, hey. If you insult me, I will also insult you. If you no, we are equal, because once I'm this, you are that. I mean, when you meet such a man, my lady, you don't have to consider getting married to such a person. I mean, we are all different people with different treats, and because men were brought up in a certain way, we ended up being stronger than women. It doesn't matter what people do to us or certain people do to us because we are stronger. But comparatively, we are than men. So if you meet a man who think that we are the same, we are equal. So if you hit me, I'll hit you. If you insult me, I'll insult you. If you do this, if you cheat, I will cheat, kind of thing. Hey, we are not equal, okay? Run away from such men. You don't want to get yourself involved in that kind of thing. Trust me. Okay, the third group of men that you should run away from or never consider getting married to are men who think that a man's way of being fearless is by being abusive to a woman. Okay, most men think that when you want a woman to be afraid of you, or when you want to feel you are in authority, or you want to make a woman know that you are the head of the house, then you've got to be abusive. That is the main cause of so many abusive relationships. And so if you end up, whether you are an African or whether you are a foreigner, you want to go to marry an African man or whatever, and you meet an African man who think that for you to fear me or to be able to see me as the head of the house, I'm supposed to hate you for you to know that, yes, once I'm able to beat you, it's a way of dominating you for you to feel that, yes, I'm the boss. Run away from such men. You know, the traditional African lady knows that men are the head of the family, and so you're supposed to give them or accord them with that kind of respect. But going forward, due to the new ideologies and women empowerment kind of thing, certain women are actually not according the men whatever recognition or authority they're supposed to be given in their family. As a result, most men think that, hey, this is due me. If you don't give it to me, I will take it by force. And so how do I take it? By being abusive. Do you get it? Our grandmothers used to be very submissive compared to women of today. And so when you meet a man and then he thinks that if you don't accord me the respect that I deserve in the first place, what my mom used to give my dad, then I'm really going to be abusive for you to fear me or for you to be afraid of me or kind of thing. Run away from such men. Okay, the last group of men that I'm going to talk about that you should never get married to is a man who thinks that marriage is a 50-50 affair. I've seen a lot of development on this kind of thing. What percentage should we contribute in a marriage kind of thing? Okay, hey, if you meet a man and then he emphasizes so much on this kind of share, run away. That is not a typical African man. You know, the African man was brought up in a way to provide for the wife, brought up in a way to go seek for greener pasture, go do something, come protect your wife, take care of your children and your wife. That's what they were built up. But it all comes along with the ideologies that are infiltrating in, where the Western culture think that, hey, once the woman is also working kind of thing, then we are supposed to provide 50-50. So you go to court and then the court decide whatever, you share 50-50 properties, whatever thing. So it is coming, because of how people have been treating others, even in the African homes and everything. That's why most people are also adapting to those kind of things. But regardless, if you still meet a man and he still thinks that, sometimes some men could be lenient on that one. Maybe try to be cautious as to the thing that they disclose to you or how they even spend their money. But a man who emphasizes on it that it is 50-50, I bring 50, you bring 50, else we are not eating, else we are not moving forward, else we are not doing that, my sister. Run away from such men. They are not really going to help you in marriages. But if you really still want to go ahead with them, if you think that is okay, a time will come, you will know that that African man was not built that way. He adapted those things alongside the way, and then because marriage comes with so many responsibilities and selflessness. Okay, it got to a time that someone might lose their job and someone might do this. Someone you get it, and you might not really be bringing in what you used to bring in. And at that time, what are you going to do? Are you still going to stick to the plan, or you still made a clause that will cater for those kind of things? And it becomes very complicated. But when love leads you, but when commitment and discipline, self-control leads you, you would be able to overcome all those things. Sometimes people can even give their 100% in the marriage or whatever. It doesn't matter what you bring in. I'm ready to take care of this kind of thing. So these are the 4 types of men that, in my opinion, you should avoid in the African continent. Because if you do that, you can date them, you can do whatever, but when it comes to marriage as an institution, then you have to think about it twice before you consider marrying these people, because life can be really hell for you. So I appreciate you so much for passing by today. I just brought you this kind of content. So if you like it, just smash the like button and also leave a comment on whatever you also think. If there are other things that you also think, just leave it there. If you disagree with me, feel free, just leave it under the comment section and then let's have a wonderful discussion. So I will see you in my next video. Stay blessed.